Right. Uh, Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Global Teacher Conversation. I see that all of you have renamed yourself according to the convention and have basically shared one thing that you are grateful for this week. Now, let's see what we're going to do for this session. Yeah. So a little bit of Zoom norms. Maybe you can mute if you're not speaking. Not because I don't want to hear your voice. It's that so that our audios would not clash. Okay. And let's be present. Please switch on your video if possible. We want to make this as genuine as possible. I know we're all like miles and miles away from each other, but when we can see each other faces, it feels like you're there in front of me. Then participate actively, don't be shy, ask questions, answer questions. And I want to remind everybody, I want to remind myself and everybody here of our GTC pillar principles. We have 3 of them. Number 1, we can remind ourselves that how we speak, how we behave, and how we communicate will affect others. Think about the differences in experience, the differences in life journey that everyone have. So it might be good to uphold some manners, to uphold some respect to each other. Most importantly, give space and time for partners. English is not everybody's first language. So some of us might have a little bit more struggles or challenge to speak in English. So give space and time for our partners. But most importantly, give space and time for you to try understand your partners as well. And be participative. As I said, show interest. How you can show interest? By asking and answering questions with each other. Now, a little bit of agenda, just a surface view of our agenda. We will start tonight about teacher learning. Teacher learning. There will be an industry crossover planning sharing by Vrushali. Now, Vrushali is from India. She is a business owner. I will let her introduce herself later. Okay, and you can ask her what she do. After her sharing, there will be an open Q&A. You guys can ask questions. You guys might have questions while she was doing her sharing, so you can note it down in the chat and she can pick it up after her sharing ended. And then we will do a conversation together about teacher learning and teacher training. Right. This is an excerpt from an article in Edutopia, and I want you to look into this, give it like a 20 seconds read about what teachers need to know. All right. Maybe we can have one of you here to help read out loud what the passage is about. Anyone, you can just unmute and read, yeah? If not, then can I call Divya? I haven't seen you for some time. Maybe Divya can help read for us.
Sure. What teachers need to know. First, teachers need to understand subject matter deeply and flexibly so that they can help students create useful cognitive maps, relate ideas to one another, and address misconceptions. Teachers need to see how ideas connect across fields and to everyday life.
Thank you, Divya. All right, I have a follow-up questions, right? After reading this passage, what comes into your mind, Divya?
For me, it does make me think about what teaching exactly is. Is it just translating the knowledge pieces or helping students to give them the dots and help them connect by themselves? So these are a few things that are coming up on my mind immediately.
Thank you, Divya. All right, I want to hear from one other person, like what you think after you read this passage. Emma, Tan, or Luan can help me out.
Okay, hi, thank you, Ika, and welcome everyone. After read this, okay, as a teacher, we are not teaching the main subject that we are teaching, right? We have to cross all the fields. For example, I'm teaching for special needs students in a hairstyling. Okay, when it comes to the hairstyling, it's more to the skills. But when it comes to the special needs students, I have to impose so many skills so they can survive in the real uh, working world life. So as a teacher, I have to come across and have a lot of new networks so that I can give so many things that what is happening around the world. So from learning, for example, the GTT, for example, so you guys from the different part of the country sharing what is happening in your country, and then I gain some of the ideas and according to my understand, and I will transfer to my students. So as a teacher, it's not just teach and have a network, but it's another level of commitment to give to the future leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, Hema. Right. I when I come across this passage in that article, right, I was reminded of my days of teaching. One of the most frequently asked questions by my students and other students was, how is this relatable to my life? How is this going to be useful in my life later or now? What's the point of all of this, right? So this also have in a way making me sure that my responsibility as an educator is not to just transmit or transit education knowledge, right? It's not just transmission of knowledge or information. We're not there to just dump out information or dump out techniques or skills. But what we do is making sure that the students see the connection of what they learn with how they're supposed to live their life. And when we talk about how ideas connect across fields and everyday life, I was watching a drama, actually a short drama called Recipes for Farewell. You can find it out, Recipes for Farewell. So in that drama, the husband was making a food blog, not food, a recipe blog. Even though it's a recipe blog, that author was going across different segments. Like when we think about recipe blog, we might think of just instructions, ingredients, right? What to put, how many, when. But what he did was, even to the fact of discussing the name of the meal that he was preparing. He was researching like, oh, historically, this is why I couldn't match the traditional version of this meal, because at this certain period, or this ingredient was scarce, or that ingredient was not there. So this is what happened during occupation, during drought. So this is what happened. So he was connecting the dots between culinary and history, and he was connecting the dot between cooking and language. And I love that, and I want to recommend that for you to watch as well. All right, that's a little bit of divergence there. All right, now what motivates us teachers or educators to learn? I want to hear from you guys. What makes you, go out there and search for professional development, or what makes you go out there and look for training? Can anyone share with me? You can put in the chat or you can unmute and just mention. Hi, Anne.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay.
Alright. Okay. And
Yeah.
in continuing to learn, right? For yourself. What motivates you to learn?
To gain more knowledge.
To gain more knowledge.
Yeah,
Okay.
to better ourselves because I mean technology is growing, moving forward. So,
I see. To improve. So you want to get more knowledge and to improve yourself, right? And Haima has mentioned, give my best to the student, for students. Well, isn't this applied to all teachers? Students are always their number one priority. What about the others? What is your motivation to learn? Why you choose to keep learning? Why you choose to keep coming to a community of conversation like this one every 2 weeks, for example? I'd like you to think about that. Let's just see. Some people, they like the fact that, learning help them generate new ideas. And if they don't have goals, then it can help them set new goals. If they already have that goal, learning, they learn because they are motivated by the focus on being driven for their goals. And they want to stay positive. They learn because they want to stay positive, right? So they want to be hopeful of what's happening or what will happen in the future. Right. How are we learning? I want to hear from you guys what type of learning, what type of professional or personal development that you have gone through. What kind of training have you done or have you gone to?
Yeah, I can share this question.
Yes.
Yeah, I just talked to my program teachers about the technique 7, 2, and 1. And one is from a trainer, the course or books. That's something we can learn from expertise. And tools from our peer, our college, our fellow we work with. We can talk about what we want to learn or what we want to apply in our class. And the last one is 7, and that what we can apply in our class and reflect on redo again. So that what the shots that the teacher can learn from.
Okay. So you learn with your friends, right?
Yeah.
Some people call it mentorship. Would you call it the same thing? Or is this a different thing that you're mentioning? She's outside, don't worry. Okay, what about the others? What kind of training, what kind of learning have you done so far? How do you learn? Tan join webinars. Okay. What about you guys? What about the others?
Hi, Hema again.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes our learning is just joining all the competition.
Competition. Okay.
Run by the IPG teacher. IPG, what we call it?
Teacher Training
Institute, right?
Institute.
Okay, like that. And that some of the IPG is a teacher training institution. They run action research and research among the teachers. So I will join that and gain so many ideas who are presenting their ideas, their their findings. So it's really helpful for me. Is there a big gap between the special education and the normal education? So I can't explore myself what is current happening in formal education. So I join all of these, and then all the teachers, those who are sharing their findings, it's really come up with the new ideas, new tags, new approach. So I just inspired by their ideas and I implemented in my class. So it's really helpful. As Tan said, we joined in Malaysia. We have so many webinars for teachers for free.
Right,
So
right.
yes, that's really, we are so blessed for the Malaysian NGOs. They have run so many webinars, sharing sessions. And now I currently active with, apart from GTC, I also currently active with the Lips of a Frog Asia. So they are sharing a lot of ideas. It's really helpful and just inspired and apply in my class. So there's a lot of platforms, not only for the local, so international level, they have so many things. And also for the SIAMO, Southeast Asia Ministry of Education, they also have a lot of free webinars, coaching sessions, competition for the teachers. So it's really helpful. So that's the way how I improve myself to learn new things. And I also share all of this in my FB, promote my FB as well. Thank you.
No problem, no problem. Okay, thank you, Hema. Right. What about you, Divya? How did you learn so far?
I think I'm also thinking on the same lines of implementation, something that Hema and shared. When after learning, after reading about things, when I actually get to implement it, I actually know what I actually learn better. I also get to know what are the breakdowns actually happening in the class. So that has helped me learn the most.
All right, thank you. Right. I will be mentioning some types of professional development or training available for teachers, but this is from a long time back, 2007, 2008, on a report of 2009. But this might be still holds true to us. So if this is something that you have gone through, maybe you can show me like this. Oh, if you have not gone through that, you can show me an X. No, I have not gone through that kind of training. Okay. If you have gone through that, O. If you have not gone through that, X. Okay, clear? Right. Number one, online courses. Okay, online courses. Have you taken online courses? Okay, thank you. All right. What about physical workshops? Okay, all right. Okay, cool. Education conference or seminars. Okay. I know someone said webinars just now, but there might be people who have not joined webinars. I don't know who this person is. But, okay, cool. Now, qualification or certification program. This is after you become a teacher, okay? Not before you become a teacher. Qualification or certification. All right. Okay, cool. And then participation in a network or community of teachers. If you say X, well, you're in the wrong place because GTC is a community of teachers. Right. Individual or collaborative research. Individual. Oh, okay. In research. Okay, cool. Now, mentoring and or peer observation or mentoring. Any of this. Okay. Thank you, Ed. All right. So I will be sharing with you the link to the OECD article so that you can do further reading after this. Not now, after this. Yeah. Now, so how much training is enough, right? We want to see how much training is enough. This is, like I said, this is from 2007, 2008. But we can look into this and think whether the same situation still applies nowadays, right? If you see there, percentage of teachers who wanted more development than they received. What I'm surprised at is Malaysia is actually one of the highest because they are so unsatisfied with the number of development that they receive. That's why they're up there. You know why Belgium, Slovenia, Iceland are lower? That means they say, oh, we receive enough development and we receive the number of development or training that we need. But Malaysia say more than 80%. No, we don't agree. Not enough, not enough. Perhaps our friend from Malaysia can enlighten us a bit. Is this still happening now in the year 2023? What do you say, Anne?
Yeah, I think yes, it is happening because you see, I don't see Japan here. No, Japan is
Yeah.
um, developed country,
Right.
and um and I think they are still achieving a lots of till sky high, so I wonder how come
How come they're not in the data set?
yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why that is too. Why Korea is there but Japan is not,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. I will share with you the full article so you can give it a thought. Yeah, okay. Loan said in Vietnam, teachers said there are too many training courses in the country and they feel exhausted. Too many. Right. Okay. All right. Now, I want to introduce to you guys and I want to give a warm welcome to my friend Vrushali. Vrushali is a business owner who also is a trainer for a company named OrangeSlates in India. So today we will be talking to her about teacher training, about teacher learning. She will tell you about that. But most importantly, perhaps we can look into like how is a business entity, how is a business person is relatable to us as teachers and educators, right? I want to welcome Vrushali. Welcome, Vrushali.
Thank you so much, Atika. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hi. A very good evening to all of you. And thank you so much, Atika, for inviting, for making this happen. So excited to be here and talk to you all. Business owner, it sounds so big and it is a big deal, I know, but you feel so different. I feel different. Okay. So yes, OrangeSlates. OrangeSlates is I'm one of the co-founders. We are a team of 4 co-founders, and today I'm here. So before I get into my company story, I like to share about what I have done and my journey till here. I've done my master's in physics, and I joined the edge. So I was teaching where I did my master's. I was teaching in that college, and I realized there is a lot of the environment of teaching is not really conducive for people like me who want immediate growth and immediate results and things like that. So I said, I think I can't work in this environment. And then I joined an edtech company as a subject matter expert for physics, for science overall. From that day onwards, I have always worked for teachers. I've always been a for teachers person. I used to create lesson plans for teachers, project plan for teachers about what is role of teacher and what teachers need to prepare to execute a project-based learning in a classroom. Then moving ahead, so we started creating products for teachers to use. So we created programs on financial literacy that teacher can execute with students. Okay, providing teachers training on how to make the classroom better and so on. So fast forward, I'll come to 2019 when I joined I became the co-founder of a company, OrangeSlates. Now, OrangeSlates is for teachers, by teachers. I have been a teacher, one of the co-founders has been a teacher. And we strongly believe that teachers are the center of the entire education system. And why we say that? It's because you see any product, okay? There are products which sell to parents, which sell to students, which sell to schools. But who is the one who is implementing that in the classroom? Is the principal coming? Is the admin staff coming? Are the parents coming to the school to execute? No. Teachers are the one who is implementing in the class. But who is the most neglected person here? The stake owner, the most neglected stake owner here? Again, teachers. They're not trained. They are not given an option of what to choose, how to choose. They're just told, this is it, you have to use in the classroom, go. Right? So we really believe that if you train one teacher in using a simple thing like a purse, give it a purse in a classroom and ask teacher to use it innovatively, she'll do wonders with this. I can teach 10 concepts using this purse as a teacher, right? But when I can do that, because if I have enough training and experience, knowledge, training and experience, right? So this is exactly what we had in mind, what we want to make. And the second most important thing, I'm really sorry to say this, the respect for the occupation of being a teacher is really lost. At least I've seen in my country. If you relate to it, you can mark a heart in the Zoom chat. That so everybody has a comment that teacher doesn't know. Everybody knows I could have done this better. Parents always say that, you know what? This is not the way to teach the child. This is not the way to handle children, right? Everybody is a teacher, but nobody's really teaching to these students, right? Thank you. I could see so many hearts. Thank you so much. So this is really a problem where teachers are losing the respect that they really deserve, because they are really the one who is creating future for everybody, not one person, but everybody. So keeping all these thoughts and all these things in mind, we realize that if we empower teacher, if I empower one teacher at a time, I'm empowering around thousands of students directly and infinite number of lives indirectly. Parents, friends, neighbors, relatives, and so on. One teacher, 1,000 students and infinite lives. And that is where we serve with our organization, OrangeSlates. Our motto is teacher education reimagined, making educators future ready. That's what our motive is. We want to make them empowered. We want to make them ready for future so that they can make our students ready for future. If I'm empowered, I can do it. If I'm not, I won't be able to. If I know German, I can teach German, right? Similarly, if I am future ready, I can make my child future ready. Simple. Okay. So who dares to teach must never cease to learn is, and I love, Atika, the questions that you asked. How do we motivated? Again, very important factor to be learning, right? I need to be motivated to learn, and different ways through which I can learn. And as educators, I love the group here because everybody said it is very important for me to learn. It is very important for me to grow. So exactly, this is the kind of educators we want who never cease to learn. So OrangeSlates is an online platform. We start our trainings online, but we do online trainings, face-to-face training. We also do hybrid trainings where the first training is offline and then we do online and then we do online support and so on. So all modes possible. But yes, we do have an online LMS where we have our self-paced courses as well. So the journey till now is we have done around 300 plus trainings. We started in 2020 June. Until date, we have trained around 35,000 educators. We have done around 11,000 hours of live training. We have done training for so many institutes. You can see on the screen. But the journey is not easy. I'll tell you why. Because if I come and tell Anne or Divya or Hema Rani that, you know what, you have, there's a gap in your learning in technology. I think I need to train you on how to use Padlet. Will you like it? Will you like if I tell you, I think there's a, you don't know how to use Google Slides. I'll show you how to use Google Slides. Will you like it? If you like it, that's great. If I go to school and tell a principal that, you know what, I really noticed there's a gap in the teachers and I think we can do training. They're like, dude, my teachers are perfect. I am perfect. I know everything. How are you here telling me there's a gap? No, there's no gap. This is a problem that we faced and we still face because training is not a need. Training is a tick mark thing that schools do. A lot of organizations arrange for webinars. I really want to ask you guys if you have seen those webinars, how much is implementation in that webinar? Right? How much is implementation? They're talking about knowledge which you can get it from YouTube. They're talking about facts that you can find it on Google or now ChatGPT and Bard and whatever AIs that are. I see there are companies who are doing great job. I'm not denying that. But it is very important for you to know. I think Divya spoke about implementation, right? I think Divya spoke and I think somebody else also spoke about it. It is very important for you to know how I can use this with my classroom where I have 40 children, 50 children, 30 children, and how I can teach my entire syllabus using these strategies. I need to know how I can implement inquiry-based learning in my project, right? So yeah, this is a challenge. There is a need, but people don't know that there is a need. So that is a challenge as a business owner, as a entrepreneur, I face in my startup. Okay, moving on. So we believe that we are offering training as a service. Okay, so it is simple, flexible, and scalable model in school. Because schools will just have to say that, you know what, I need training on this topic. This is the objective that I want to achieve. And we curate the entire training structure. If they say we want a 6 hours training, we create a 6 hours model. If they say we need a 2 hours training, we create a 2 hours model based on the requirement that we get from schools. This is the, I'll just spend some time here on the slide because this is something very interesting. So we use a 4C model. All our trainings, be it live, be it online, be it live, online, face-to-face, self-paced. We follow a 4C structure, and this 4C is not the 21st century 4C, it's a bit different. The first and the foremost important thing is we create context. We only offer contextual trainings. We don't offer knowledge-based trainings. We don't teach you what is science. We don't teach you what is maths. We don't teach you definition of andragogy, pedagogy, what is Bloom's taxonomy. No. We give you contextual training. If I'm doing a topic on, say, Bloom's, my topic of training will be how will you create learning objectives and learning outcomes using Bloom's taxonomy. This is my training. Okay. So, which means that it is relevant to you. Like we say, the learning should be relevant for students. Same thing, the learning has to be relevant for the teachers, right? So the trainings are contextual. There is a collaborative. We do a lot of group activity. Even on Zoom, we do breakout rooms. If it's a face-to-face, group work works beautifully. So collaborative, it is creative. So we try to incorporate multiple ways of teaching. So for example, we use discussion mode. We use videos. We do activity. So some kinesthetic activity that happens. We use presentation skills. So we use multiple ways in which a person can learn. So we try to cater to differential learning and different learning styles. And last but not the least, challenging, we give them tasks so that it is not something which it's just learn and go, listen and go. Listen to the webinar and you will get a certificate. Or listen to this training and you will get a certificate. No, it's not like that. You have to implement what you learn. So there is an outcome, right? So if my objective is you will be able to create learning outcomes by the end of this training, so you will be creating 4 learning outcomes or 5 learning outcomes or something that is relevant to you. So it closes the loop of having an objective in mind, having a goal in mind, going through the learning journey, and in the end, checking if that goal is achieved. Okay, so this is the model that we use in all training programs that we conduct. This is our market. So like I said, we are for teachers, by teachers, and work on the need of teachers. So we do pre-service training. So this is somebody who is already doing BEd or wants to get into the career of teaching in schools. So we cater to help them on, the kind of, so for example, there in India, there is something called as BEd, Bachelor's in Education. You need to have that to work in a school. Okay. But the curriculum of Bachelor's in Education is not really updated as much. So for example, now we have AIs and techs and technology and tools and so on. So curriculum doesn't have that. So we do kind of bridge courses for them so that when they join school, they are equipped with basic tools that they will need when they enter the classroom, right? So that is a pre-service. Of course, new service, new teachers. So there are schools for whom we create boot camps. So if there are, so these are all self-paced boot camps, which are basic, what is the vision of the school? What is the mission of the school? The basic strategies, the approach that they use. So these are all self-paced courses. So teachers, whoever joins, whenever they join, they go through these self-paced courses so that they are aware of what happens in the school, and then they can start structuring their approach in that. Mid-career transformations, we all have been through these workshops and webinars, so I need not talk more about it. These are all trainings that helps us stay updated in what is happening in the trending education scenario. And the last but not the least, we also do trainings of leadership. So we do topics like design thinking, collaborative teaching. So there is pedagogical workshops about as a principal or as a leader or as a coordinator or as a head. What should be my approach when I have team of 50 teachers, 60 teachers? How will I handle conflict? So conflict management, how I can make groups and have collaborative working, or how I can have programs like annual functions, sports to be executed in a proper manner. So that is leadership transformation. So OrangeSlates work with schools, colleges, edtech companies, publishing companies, and education tools. So yeah, this is what we did a survey about. How do you want to learn? So around 69, so almost 70% people wanted to have live sessions. What they learned during COVID phase, so this was what they learned, and what they need to learn now is, so a lot of people said they want to learn interpersonal skills after COVID, and we have done a lot of trainings on interpersonal skills because even teachers, even adults, even I, for that matter, I'm really telling you, I really forgot how to speak with people when I have group of more than 10 people with me in the room. I can talk online to 100 people. I was so confident. But in a room with 10 people, I did not know what to do, how to behave, how to just hold my hand and sit like this, or what to do. During COVID, we were very less people at home, locked for 1.5 years, and suddenly you have 20 people in the room. I don't know what to do. So even teachers failed. In the staff room, everybody was quiet and on their phones because they did not know what to do. So we did a lot of training on interpersonal skills and intrapersonal skills post-COVID because that is the kind of emotional support teachers needed. So we did this trainings for free for some schools because we realized it is so critical for teachers. The mental health is not helping because I am sure everybody faces during COVID, all teachers were working almost 20 hours a day because they were teaching online, they were planning for online, creating resources on the go. Like tomorrow I have to give it, today I'm preparing for the lesson plan, and also talking to parents because they are worried, managing their home. They were actually working for so many hours. So when they came to school, they did not know what to do with the time left at home. I would say there was a black hole there. But I don't know. I have free time now because I don't have to talk to teachers because they are meeting me in school. I don't have to talk to students because they are meeting me in school. So a lot of emotional, mental issues were there post-COVID. But of course, there were not only us, there were so many other people who did training that I really respect that. They were thinking about teachers because everybody else was thinking about students. Students are not comfortable, students are not comfortable, students are not happy, students are this, students that. But teachers were really struggling at that time. So this is more detail. I'll share this PPT, of course, and you can go through the kind of courses we do. So not all trainings are done by me or my team. We have a team of around 50 trainers who works with us. So any skill, any kind of topic that you're looking for, we will have a trainer who can help you for training. So we have trainers on socio-emotional learning, inclusive learning, special education, art drama integration, SDGs, of course, Google. Google is something that I love doing. I'm a Google sort of innovator champion. We have champions here as well. So yeah, that's the kind of topics we take. We have partnered with edtech companies who are into augmented reality and things like that. So if you're looking for a technology partner also, we have somebody. So we will meet. Okay, this is that company. You meet. You want to work together. We'll give training. So it's not something that we handle everything by ourselves because that's not practically possible. But we try to bring the best in one under one roof, so teachers don't have to run here and there for getting trained on different. So like I said, live courses can be face to face or online. Self-paced courses are anytime you want to learn. We have an LMS in place which you can log in and start learning yourself. We also do long-term courses, 3 months, 4 months courses, but this is a tie-up with a school. So, for example, a school or an organization wants us to run a course. Like, so we are partnering with one of the universities for conducting education technology, diploma in education technology. So we are going to help them implement that particular course. So these are the kind of offerings as a product we have. This is our process, self-explanatory. So first we understand the scope and goals. So we talk to the principal, we talk to the head to understand what are the issues, what are the problems. So we don't do training just because we have to do a training and we'll get money. No, trust me, there's not a lot of money here. But actually the kind of satisfaction that you get with the kind of work, because you actually see there is change in the life of teacher, and that really makes us happy. The transformation that we are talking about, transformation of a teacher from what he or she used to do in the class, and now the confidence that a teacher has, not because the teacher is bad or good. No, the teacher already has a lot of knowledge, the subject expertise. It's just that we are empowering them with latest trends and tools that can make them ready to face students, because students are very advanced. Students will know more than all of us. So we want to bring our teachers to that stage that a student and teacher will feel, yes, there is respect for each other and not just the one-way traffic going. Again, some broad topics that are listed here. Tools, leadership, content, assessment, subjects, pedagogy. So yeah, that's about it. Also, yearly we do a fest. Fest is like a mega event of 1 day or 2 day. It's a marathon of sessions, actually 1 hour, 10 sessions, 15 sessions that we do across themes. So we did one on this. I'm sure a lot of you would know. Education policy in India has changed. Now it is called National Education Policy 2020. Earlier it was 1986, now it's 2020, and a lot of things have changed because of that. A lot of approach change is happening. It is still in the implementation phase. It's going to take around 10 years to be implemented in a proper fashion. Right now, it's just a document with people trying to figure out what is written in that document. But yes, a lot of things are happening on those lines. So we did a Learn Fest. So that fest that we do is called Learn Fest. And we did a Learn Fest on what actually it means to a teacher. As an educator, what are things that I will change in my implementation if NEP talks about it. And similarly, we do on different things. So yeah, that's about OrangeSlates. I am more than happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Vrushali. That was awesome. Right, as you can see, there are a lot of things that Vrushali have shared. What I want to all of you need to focus about is not the products of OrangeSlates, not the business side of it, but for you to reflect on, is this similar to what I'm experiencing now in terms of learning for myself? Is this the kind of pathway that I'm also on at the moment? Are this the kind of trainings or developmental needs that I'm looking at right now? Because it could be like your reference point, right? Like where you are right now, what you need, and what your gaps are. And like Vrushali has mentioned, I would like for us to not be afraid of addressing gaps, right? Never be afraid of acknowledging gaps, because when you acknowledge there is a hole, when there is a gap, there comes your opportunity to fix or fill that hole. If you say, oh, there's no hole there, then there's no opportunity for you to fill that hole with knowledge and skills, right? So your first step has to
Adhika,
be
there's a question.
acknowledged.
Can I
Yeah.
address that question before
Yes.
we go to the next? Yeah.
Yes,
So,
I wanted
yeah.
to address that after some
Oh, okay.
comments.
Please go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
No problem, no problem. Let's do that now. Let me read Divya's questions. So Divya was very into contextualizing part of your strategy, right? So the questions are, how does it work? Is it for every teacher with different goals? How do you go about measuring, contextualizing? How does it impact scaling as a business?
Okay, so great question, because when we put that as one of the C's in 4C, we were also trying to we first try to understand about how will we be able to measure and how will we be able to implement them, right? So there are two parts to this. The kind of trainings that we do, two parts of trainings. One is the retail training is like we host it on our website. Anybody who wants to come and register will come. Now the topics that we choose are very specific. Like I said, how will you create learning outcomes using Bloom's taxonomy? Now, if that is a training, my goal is going to be creating learning outcomes. When I say contextualizing, by that I mean is the trainer will give them real classroom example about if I have 40 children in my class, how I can use this to implement this. So contextualizing is giving them real classroom scenarios to implement it. So for example, experiential learning. So as a teacher, how will I implement experiential learning? What are the templates that I'll be using? As a teacher, what is my pre-roll? What is my post-roll? So giving them insights of real classrooms and not giving, not assume, not, what I mean is that the trainers have been teachers. The trainers are teachers themselves who have implemented something. So it is not somebody like, for example, if you tell me I don't teach in school, so my examples will be just stories that I have heard. So I might not be able to give you a real picture. Okay. But my trainer who has already taught in classroom will be giving you real classroom, what is possible, what is not possible. So giving them real contextual information regarding the implementation. I hope that answered your question in some. Atika.
Yes, that's no problem. Right. Thank you, Divya. And thank you, Vrushali, for addressing that questions as well. Divya, does that answer your questions?
Thank you for taking that question. Yeah, it does clarify, give me give me an understanding of what contextualization means. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Divya. All right. For everyone else, you can just unmute right away and ask if you have any questions for Vrushali before we move on to our next part of the session. Right. All right. Since you guys have run the business from 2020, right, Vrushali? I have a question. I have a question. And you guys have interacted with like 35,000 plus teachers, right? Can you share with us what are the current or common concerns when it comes to teacher training, or what are the concerns now?
Okay. So I like to bifurcate this in the kind of schools we have across geography. Okay. They're extremely high-end schools. They are not really worried about trainings because they get trainings in-house. They have their own committee where the training happens. So even if they are interested or not, they will be trained at regular interval of time and they'll get enough exposure to be knowing the latest trends. The schools that are, I would say, low-end schools, they're not really bothered about training because their condition is the students should be present because there's a lot of absentees and then the students skip the school. They're not really bothered about being trained because they're like, first we need basic requirements of classroom and children coming to school or having teachers in the class at least. So they are not really keen. So the middle type of schools, that is where the training happens the most. Now, in that scenario as well, people want training. Yes, people want training, but they're not ready to pay. Okay. So what happens in this case is if you're not ready to pay, but they don't know whether the quality that they're getting is good enough if it's free. I would say around 60% of teachers are those who do training for tick mark because there's a mandate of having some certificates and some hours of training. We do retail trainings. Okay, so teachers who register with us are voluntarily paying and joining. Nobody is paying for them; they're paying for them by themselves. So even if it's this lot of 35,000, we have around what? We have 2 crore teachers in India. Okay. This
For
lot
context, Vrushali, sorry. 2 crores is how much?
2 crores is 20 million.
20 million. Thank you.
No problem. So out of which I would remove the government. So I'll say around 10 million teachers are private teachers and then other teachers are government teachers and below poverty lines. Now this 10 million teachers, I would say 60% are such who are not really keen. It's just a tick mark training that they do. The other teachers are actually willing. They will do anything to be, they are motivated like people who are here, right? They are self-motivated to be trained. They will find, even if it's a webinar which is not application, they'll try to fetch knowledge and make and create their own knowledge. Okay, so I know I complicated the response, the simple question that you asked, but honestly there's no straightforward answer to it. But yes, there is need. Teachers are not really able to pay because of whatever reasons. Schools are not ready to pay for the training because they think if I train my teacher, they will leave the school. So that is also a fear that school has. So they might not be interested in paying. So this is a biggest gap where if there is a need, they won't pay. Others don't feel there is a need of training. So it's a bit complicated market being in space where it is teacher education first.
Right.
I really complicated your answer.
No, don't worry. We're thinking actually of the same thing. Maybe it's just like my experience or what I know, based on what I observe. But we kind of mirror in that sense. I think maybe Hema or Ann or Tan, either you guys have questions or maybe you guys have comments like, oh, actually this also happens in Malaysia, like some schools cannot be bothered, cannot spend that time for teacher development. Why? Because of all other things of like students
Admin
issues, administrative stuff, and what happened, right? So yeah, Hema and Tan, do you have question? Luan, Divya, if you have any other question, you can use this space now to ask Vrushali anything that you're curious about, or even if it's not a question, if it's a comment, that we will do.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, it's not have any questions, but I really impressed with your one of the slide is a training umbrella. Okay, it's really eye-catchy with your a lot of trainings ideas in one page, and quite be very interesting. Thank you for this effort, and hopefully I try to enroll and try to join or discover more about your trainings. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And really nice to see you here.
Thank you, Hema. And Luan, Pan, what about you guys? Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
honestly, teacher training space. So I spoke with one of the educator in US and a lot of educators. Teacher training, when it comes to teacher training, right? There is not a straightforward structure about the professional development requirements. There are mandates, yes, but the kind of quality, the kind of journey that a teacher has to take, the support system is very weak for teachers, honestly. So teachers themselves need to buckle up and create that system for himself or herself to really progress in the way they want. Is my 2 bits.
Yeah. That's why there are needs for communities and circle of practices, right? So people coming together in a network, people coming together as a community just to support each other. Think, hey, I got your back. Don't worry, we can learn this together. There's a lot like a self-study group as well doing things like this. Okay, right, cool. If you guys don't have any questions, then I will proceed with our next course of action. We will do a breakout room. But before a breakout room, as usual, there are a few questions that will be driving the conversation in a bit. So number one, can you look into and share what are the types of learning or developmental experience that are available to you? You might not have experienced it yet, but you are able to access it. For example, teachers in Malaysia, you guys, we have this dashboard called SPL-KBM. So in SPL-KBM or in a dashboard by Intan, there's a list of courses. There's a list of things to do on how you can develop yourself, right? Or you can also reflect on your experience, all these years of teaching, but while being in service, what are the kinds of experience or learning types that are made accessible to you? You can just list and share this one after. And then compare it with your own personal or professional goal. Does all these available learning opportunities help you to achieve your goals? Or there are a lot of trainings available, but none of it actually match your goal. So you can reflect on this. The next question is, what do you wish to experience or training you'd like to have in your developmental journey? You think, if I have this, it will be a little bit more fun or more interesting, or this is, this is necessary for me to achieve my goal, for example. And if you can put it there, what training or developmental experience you think is already outdated, is no longer relatable, and it's still there despite it's being, no longer rational or applicable. I'll give you guys like maybe 3 minutes to think and prepare before I send you to your breakout rooms. All right, you guys are ready. I will be sending you guys to breakout room to have a conversation. So your conversation will be around 25 to 30 minutes. Have fun. Do remember to discuss all the points that have been prompted. Please sending you guys to breakout rooms now. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Atika, we haven't completed the question number 3 and 4, and then you ask us to come back here.
I know you guys, no matter how much time I allocate, will never be enough, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So tell me a little bit about what you guys have about in the breakout room?
Hema, summarize.
No,
What-
Divya have to summarize. Okay, I already explained many things, right? Divya have to summarize. Come, Divya.
Sure.
Oh.
Applause for you. Applause for you. Eh,
The very first thing that is coming to my mind, it's a personal opinion. Malaysia sounds like a very teacher-friendly space, a good country to be a teacher. So from all the things that I've heard from Hema Rani especially, and Michelle and Tan Ling Si, please tell me if I'm pronouncing your name correct. From all the experiences, all the resources that you learn, I am in shock. I'm in awe. Even the concept of edufluencers, if I'm pronouncing it right, the things that government does, providing Google certificates. So listening to all this, I just feel like it's a very good place to be a teacher.
I see. Okay, I see that our Malaysian members have done some promotion there. Maybe Anne or Tan can also share what you have heard from the conversation with the others. Not something that you have to say it, but something you probably learn or listen to from the others. And or Tan, guys wanna share?
Tan, please.
Tan, would you like to share?
I can see Hema try a lot of webinar and program. She is so much active, and I think I have something new to learn from Hema. Yeah, thank you.
And that is what is it that something new that you learned from Emma today?
I need to learn ViewSonic from Hema. She's not in level 2. Oh, thank you, Hema. You mentioned that. So I know I found a seafood.
All right. What about you, Ed? Anything refreshing to from the discussion tonight?
Yeah, I learned, listening to them, I feel, wow, so many more things that I have to learn. A lot of things, yeah, especially when it comes to IT. I didn't reach yet. There's a lot more for me to learn, yeah. But as what Hema just said, I mean, I don't know, but then, we can just try, the way she put it, I think is in no time that I will try to pick up myself and learn as well.
Okay, I would like to add on to the what Anne said just now, right? Okay. In my opinion, in my way, I just explore, learn.
Right.
Okay. Then if halfway I say I really cannot make it, I just drop it. Because what? When other people ask, okay, do you heard about this? Yes, I know. When we have a conversation, as a teacher, we have to know everything. We cannot say, no, this, I just teaching a physics. I only have to explore about the physics. I just teaching for the special education. I don't want to know about what that formal education. No, I will explore anything. I will explore anything and I will get what is it, what is MIE, what is the Google certificate, what is the YouTuber, what is the ViewSonic. I will learn everything. And at some point, I will go ahead with that when it comes that I can do. If can't means I will stop. Whenever people ask, actually I know about the knowledge. That I cannot say, no, I don't know. I won't say that I don't know. I say, yes, I learn about that, but it's not suitable for me and for my students. So I stop. And also another thing is the STEM. I also PGSM Malaysia. I joined as a member and I attend few courses of the STEM and the Minecraft also I attend the Minecraft. But once I learned that, I said, okay, this is not for my students. When people talk about the Minecraft, you heard about it. Yes, I joined I joined the course. I went to the course to the UTM under PGSM, and I one of the member of the PGSM. But I stopped because it's not related to my students. So whenever people talk to me, yes, I know about the knowledge. Then they think that, yeah, she's very capable. Yeah, she's know about some things, right? So that's the way I gain the respect from other teachers. Thank you, Anne, for that.
Thank you, Hema. Right. I've read this while preparing for our session tonight about tools, right, and platform. There will be people who get so pressured and exhausted by the exposure of too many tools and too many platforms, like too many options, right? So this person has mentioned in the article, tools are just creation of invention, and invention will happen every single day, every time. So you like it or not, there will always be new creation, there will always be new tools. So there will, so what this person wants to say is that don't take it too hard on you if you cannot catch up. It's okay. But what's important is, and I think I also agree with Hema, is you have to give yourself the chance to explore options. By you learning new things, meeting new people, you are actually exploring options, right? If you only know A, that means you're only stuck with having to use and utilize A. But if you know A, B, C, and D, even though not in depth, at least you have options. That means I can go to A, B, C, or D. And I like that Hema said that, oh, I test this first. I test this, then I make it clear to myself, oh, this doesn't work, that works. So I'm gonna go with what works for me and my students. What doesn't work, it's okay, I'm letting go. But that doesn't mean I'm putting a barrier between myself and options. And I really like that. Thank you so much, Hema.
Atika, thank you for identifying that. So the things is I always explain to my students whereby I will exploring. I won't stop and I will exploring. When it comes to the work life, when you enter the work life, so explore as much as you can. So don't say no to your boss. So keep on learning. At the one point, you explain to your boss, no boss, this is not work for me. I tried. So before try, don't give the excuses that you can. So that's the things I explain to my students. So before I explain, I experience first, then I show to them. So they can see the clear picture who are in front of them. So they look me at wow. Whenever whatever I do, I ask them to do, they do. They know never say cannot. Until now, my students feeling like locked with me because as a teacher, you are doing so many things. Why as a student, I can't? So whatever I do, whatever I push them, they will do. Thank you, Atika.
No problem, no problem. That's very inspiring, Hema. That's very inspiring. Yes. Right. So we're at the end of our session. So I just want to share a few opportunities within the community. So you can do a sharing space and have a dedicated time slot for member sharing. You can also do member takeover if you're feeling like, oh, I want to take over a portion of the GTC, like what and Hayati has did and Hema has did as well. Or you can take over a whole session like what Jinsan had did with the previous cycle. You can reach out to me on that. We're going to Sabah in December, and if you're interested, then you can let me know. And there's a Let's Exchange program with Nepal School Motherland English Boarding School. If you know anyone who might be interested, any friends that might be interested, then you can let me know so that we can put them on. And we also want to explore GTC Speaks. This is an outreach by sharing. So we want to share in talks about education with other communities outside of GTC. So you can share your topic wish list. What do you wish to speak about? How do you want to represent GTC, and maybe webinars, podcasts, and sharing. Of course, we will be guiding you through this. Right. If you haven't updated your member profile form, please do so. And I know some of you love to put up reflections after the session. You can put up the reflection. What have you learned through the session? What were you feeling after the session? Then you can put up reflection, and don't forget to tag us on Facebook, Global Teacher Conversation. Right. Now let's do the photo time. All right, hold on.
I'm ready for the picture.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Okay, ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I cannot see your hand. And okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. All right. So, when's our next session will be? I know that this session, industry crossover, is supposed to happen last 2 weeks, but because of a conflicting schedule, we have to move the industry crossover to this week. That means next 2 weeks on 11th November is also our industry crossover session. We will be having a guest from the welfare department. So our friend from welfare department will be coming over to our session, share about community work and how education can be part of it. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. Good night. Take care and see you on the November 11th. Good night.